Sister Wives Kody Brown's shocking greed, the property dispute that changed everything. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Daily Gossip News Update. I'm Olivia, and I hope you're well by God's grace. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. In the sprawling desert of Arizona, the Brown family's dream of unity is slowly crumbling under the weight of betrayal, control, and greed. What once began as a vision of shared love and plural marriage has devolved into legal battles, emotional turmoil, and financial warfare. This is the shocking story of how Kody Brown, the patriarch of the Sister Wives clan, has refused to return property rightfully owned by Janelle and Meri, and now he's demanding even more money from the women who stood by him for decades. Welcome to this exclusive investigation, a tale of broken promises, manipulation, and a family torn apart over land, money, and power. A family built on faith and land. For years, the Brown family portrayed the image of a united plural family on TLC's Sister Wives. Kody, the self-declared leader of the family, shared his life with 4 women: Meri, Janelle, Kody, and Robyn. But behind the camera, everything wasn't as harmonious as it seemed. In 2018, the family purchased Coyote Pass, a massive piece of land in Flagstaff, Arizona, with the dream of building individual homes for each wife. They split the purchase under the assumption of fairness and mutual respect. However, ownership papers told a different story. It later came to light that much of the legal ownership leaned heavily in Kody and Robyn's favor. Janelle and Meri, despite contributing financially, had limited legal power over the land they helped pay for. At first, this discrepancy was brushed under the rug. But as emotional rifts widened, so did the financial ones. In 2021, Kody Brown, Kody's 3rd wife, made a historic decision. She left Kody, walked away from their spiritual marriage, and reclaimed her independence. Her exit sent shockwaves through the Brown family, showing the other wives that freedom was possible. Janelle and Meri watched as Kody sold her share of Coyote Pass for just $10, a symbolic amount that indicated she was done with the drama. But Janelle and Meri still had ties, deeply entangled in both land and love. They had invested not only emotionally, but financially. They believed that even if the relationships ended, fairness would prevail. They were wrong. Kody's financial downfall and the rise of desperation. As the seasons progressed, it became increasingly clear that Kody was not in good financial standing. His construction dreams at Coyote Pass had stalled. Legal costs, family turmoil, and the expenses of maintaining a large family were taking a toll. Then came the bombshell. Kody was asking for more money from Janelle and Meri, not returning their investments, but demanding additional funds. How could this be possible? Sources close to the family claim that Kody began using emotionally manipulative tactics, guilt-tripping his ex-wives into continuing to help him financially. He argued that their name was still tied to the land, and they had a responsibility to help complete what they had started. But both women had moved on, especially Janelle, who is now living independently in an RV for months, trying to get her financial footing back. Janelle's fight for what's hers. Janelle Brown has always been viewed as the practical wife, financially savvy, hardworking, and logical. Her investments in Coyote Pass weren't emotional, they were strategic. She contributed large sums with the understanding that she would one day have her own home on the land. But when she questioned Kody about her share, he reportedly deflected, stalled, and then outright refused to hand over control. He claimed that decisions had to be made as a family, even though that family was no longer intact. Kody's justification? He said the money she had paid was part of a shared vision. Janelle was stunned. In her eyes, her financial contributions were not donations, they were investments. She wanted either the land or her money back. But Kody wasn't budging. In fact, he asked her for more money to cover building permits and taxes, expenses she no longer wanted any part in. Meri's shocking realization. Meri, the first wife and arguably the one who had endured the most emotional distance from Kody, found herself in a similar predicament. Though their relationship had grown cold and nearly non-existent, she had still contributed toward the land and the family finances. Now, she was being told she couldn't access her share either. Like Janelle, she was urged to contribute more, to help finish what they started. It was a stunning twist. The women who had given their best years, their savings, and their emotional energy were now being asked to give even more. Meri, typically quiet in matters of finance, reportedly consulted with legal experts to understand her rights. Digging into property records revealed some disturbing facts. While the land was originally meant to be divided equally among the wives, Robyn and Kody's names dominated the titles. The shift happened gradually. Over time, property parcels were reassigned, loans were taken, trusts were formed, and the people who originally paid for the land found themselves shut out. According to public filings, Robyn and Kody gained increasing control, using legal mechanisms to shield ownership from being easily reclaimed by Meri and Janelle. In layman's terms, the land they helped buy was no longer theirs. As rumors of the financial manipulation reached the public, fans erupted with outrage. Social media platforms lit up with criticism. Justice for Janelle and Free Meri trended as fans called Kody out for what they called financial gaslighting. TLC viewers who once saw Kody as a struggling but sincere patriarch now saw a man obsessed with power, unwilling to relinquish control even over what wasn't his. Kody defended himself in interviews, insisting it was all misunderstood. But his vague statements did little to convince the public. Privately, both Janelle and Meri began consulting attorneys. While neither woman wanted to go to court, partly to avoid damaging the family further, they were prepared to fight for their financial rights if necessary. Sources say Janelle was exploring options to force a sale of the land or demand repayment for her investment. Meri was more cautious, but equally determined to retrieve what was hers. Kody, on the other hand, saw it as betrayal. He reportedly accused both women of trying to destroy the legacy and said they were turning their backs on family. But many saw through the act. It was not about legacy. It was about leverage. Amid all the drama, Robyn remained largely silent. But her name appeared on most of the land documents, fueling speculation that she and Kody had slowly shifted everything in their favor. Fans accused Robyn of manipulating Kody, ensuring that once the other wives left, she would inherit everything. Whether or not this was calculated, the result was clear. Robyn now had security, while the others were left empty-handed. Christine had walked away with grace. But Janelle and Meri were still stuck in a tug-of-war. The land dispute was the final crack in an already shattered foundation. As of today, Janelle and Meri are living independently, focusing on personal businesses and rebuilding their lives. They remain cordial but cautious in any dealings with Kody. Kody, meanwhile, continues to speak of rebuilding the family, but his actions suggest otherwise. His refusal to return their property and his demand for more money show a man not interested in healing, but in hoarding. A slow montage of the Arizona desert, the Coyote Pass land empty, untouched. In the end, Coyote Pass stands as a symbol, not of hope, but of heartbreak. A piece of land that once represented unity now lies divided, much like the family who bought it. Kody Brown's refusal to return Janelle and Meri's property, and his greed for more, has forever changed how the world sees the sister wives. This isn't just about land. It's about ownership, respect, and the cost of misplaced trust. The truth behind Robyn Brown: love, loyalty, or just money? Once seen as the glue meant to hold a plural family together, Robyn Brown has become the most controversial figure in the sister wives universe. Some call her misunderstood. Others call her manipulative. But in recent months, a question has taken over fan forums, YouTube debates, and Reddit threads. Does Robyn truly love Kody Brown, or does she love what he provides? Today, we take a deep look into what many now believe is the truth. Robyn loves Kody not for who he is, but for what he has. From financial shifts and real estate deals to emotional manipulation and public fallout, this is the complete story of how money, not love, may be the real foundation of Robyn's loyalty. Robyn's entry into the Brown family. When Robyn Brown first appeared in Sister Wives Season 1, she was portrayed as a sweet, spiritual, and emotional woman seeking family and stability. Kody was immediately infatuated with her. He courted her openly while still married to Meri, Janelle, and Christine. The attention he gave Robyn was unlike anything the other wives had experienced. Flowers, long drives, romantic talks. It was clear, Kody had fallen hard. And Robyn, she didn't resist. But fans soon started noticing patterns. Robyn was always tearful when it suited her. She spoke often about needing emotional safety, but only when it benefited her arguments. And most importantly, her influence on Kody began to grow faster than anyone could explain. Was it love? Or was it opportunity? Before joining the Brown family, Robyn was struggling financially. She was a single mother of 3, working retail jobs and living with minimal means. Her finances were far from stable, and her ex-husband had a shaky support history. When she joined the Browns, that all changed. Kody took on full financial responsibility for her and her children, even adopting them legally in 2015. But this wasn't just a romantic gesture. It came with serious financial implications. Robyn and her kids were instantly folded into the family's shared budget. While other wives were working multiple jobs or running small businesses, Robyn largely remained at home, citing the challenges of raising children. Her needs? Always prioritized. Her expenses? Covered by family money. Fans began asking, was this love or a long-term financial plan? The legal marriage that changed everything. In 2014, a bombshell rocked Sister Wives fans. Kody Brown legally divorced his first wife, Meri, so he could marry Robyn. The stated reason was to adopt her children legally. But the emotional and financial benefits of being a legal wife were glaring. With legal marriage came more control over assets, legal authority in decision-making, inheritance rights, healthcare and insurance coverage. And slowly, the family structure shifted. Robyn and Kody became a traditional monogamous couple in everything but name. The other wives faded into the background. Meri felt discarded. Christine grew resentful. Janelle felt excluded. But Robyn? She flourished. Coyote Pass and unequal ownership. Narrator. When the Browns bought Coyote Pass in Flagstaff, Arizona, it was supposed to be the family's fresh start. Each wife would have her own house. The land was to be divided fairly. But paperwork told a different story. Public records revealed that Robyn and Kody held the majority share of the land. Despite all the wives investing money from their own earnings and resources, Robyn's name was prominently attached to more valuable parcels. Christine later sold her share for just $10, a symbolic gesture of walking away. Janelle and Meri struggled to gain control or equity in their pieces. And Robyn? She already had a fully built home, a sprawling house funded by pooled family resources. The other wives were living in rentals, trailers, or temporary spaces. Janelle even lived in an RV at one point to be close to the land she helped pay for. But Robyn stayed warm, secure, and well-protected. Was this coincidence? Or was the financial system built to benefit her? Robyn's emotional leverage. Narrator. Throughout the series, Robyn has displayed a pattern of emotional breakdowns, often triggered when her motives are questioned. She positions herself as the victim, frequently using phrases like, "I just want peace." "Why does everyone hate me?" "I'm trying my best." But these emotional outbursts often coincide with moments of financial or structural decision-making. For example, when questioned about her home's funding, she cried. When asked about Kody's favoritism, she cried. When Christine wanted to leave, she cried and then accused her of breaking the family. Each time, the emotional display softened Kody's resolve and pulled him closer to her side. It was a powerful form of control, and one fan saw again and again. As Robyn gained more emotional and financial influence, Kody changed. He became defensive, combative, and erratic in his treatment of the other wives. He stopped visiting their homes. He showed little interest in their children. He even publicly admitted he no longer felt connected to his other marriages. But with Robyn, he was gentle, loving, patient. It was as if Kody had placed all his emotional and material resources into one relationship, and that relationship was Robyn. But Kody wasn't the only one changing. Robyn herself became more assertive, more in control, and more selective in how she appeared on camera. She began using phrases like, "This is what Kody wants. We have to protect what we've built." To many viewers, it wasn't about family anymore. It was about protecting the lifestyle she had secured. As episodes aired, fans became armchair detectives. Reddit threads, YouTube channels, and podcasts began dissecting Robyn's every move. The most common theory? Robyn entered the family for emotional security, but stayed for financial power. Highlights from fan investigations. Business filings suggest Robyn's online jewelry business was largely promoted using family airtime. Loan records showed the family's shared debt increased dramatically after Robyn's house was built. Timeline analysis revealed that major family rifts coincided with Robyn's escalating demands and decisions. In other words, as Robyn rose, the family fell. Christine's exit and the breaking point. When Kody Brown finally walked away in 2021, she didn't mince words. She told viewers that Kody no longer cared about the plural marriage, that he had essentially chosen Robyn years ago, that she was done pretending. And most notably, Christine said, "Some people are only here for what they can gain." She didn't name names, but fans knew exactly who she meant. Christine left without assets, without land, without financial guarantees. But she left with something more powerful, the truth. Janelle and Meri wake up. Following Christine's exit, both Janelle and Meri began to reassess their roles. Janelle, always independent, realized she had invested years and money into a structure that gave her nothing in return. She began speaking up, demanding answers, and confronting Kody about Robyn's privileges. Meri, though quieter, eventually accepted that her marriage had been dead for years, and Robyn was the only real partner Kody had left. Robyn, for her part, claimed innocence. She insisted she wanted the family to work. But her actions told another story. She never gave up her comfort, never shared her space, and never stepped out of her protective bubble with Kody. In the most recent tell-all specials, Robyn's carefully crafted image began to unravel. She admitted feeling isolated, but blamed the other wives for not being open to her. She denied favoritism, despite overwhelming evidence of preferential treatment. She claimed she never wanted to be the only one left, yet she never tried to stop it. And finally, she cried. But this time, even fans didn't believe her tears. The audience had seen too much. The inconsistencies, the ownership patterns, the emotional deflection, it all pointed to one unsettling conclusion. Robyn loves the life Kody provides. The comfort, the legal protection, the home, the security. But whether she truly loves Kody remains an open question. In the end, the truth about Robyn Brown may never be confirmed in a single sentence or scene. But the evidence is overwhelming. She came into a family in chaos and secured for herself a life of security, power, and emotional control. The cost? The family itself. Whether she planned it or simply took advantage of the moment, one thing is clear. Robyn Brown may not have married Kody for who he is, but for what he had. And now, as the dust settles over Coyote Pass, only one woman stands by Kody's side. Not because the others gave up on love, but because they finally stopped believing the lie. Janelle Brown breaks her silence. Kody and Robyn are living on lies. The truth has a way of surfacing, especially when lies have been layered so thick they begin to crack under pressure. For years, Janelle Brown stood as the rock of the sister wives family, measured, loyal, and composed. But today, she's breaking that silence. Her words are sharp, her tone clear. Kody and Robyn are living on lies. This statement didn't come out of nowhere. It is the result of years of manipulation, favoritism, broken promises, and emotional betrayal. In this exposé, we will take you through the timeline, the evidence, and the consequences of Janelle's shocking truth bomb. one that has turned the world of Sister Wives upside down. When Sister Wives first aired in 2010, fans quickly gravitated toward Janelle Brown. She was logical, financially wise, and often the calm voice in the storm of family chaos. While the other wives clashed or demanded more emotional engagement, Janelle focused on stability for herself and her 6 children. She rarely complained. She never confronted Kody publicly. She worked hard, contributed financially, and made things work, even when the emotional returns were minimal. But being silent doesn't mean being blind. Janelle saw the favoritism early. She saw how Robyn's arrival changed everything, but she chose to stay. She gave the benefit of the doubt, until the doubt became undeniable. When Robyn joined the family in 2010, she came in as the fresh, emotional, and openly vulnerable new wife. Kody was clearly enamored. What began as excitement turned into a pattern. Robyn's opinions weighed more. Her needs came first. And slowly, Kody shifted his emotional and physical presence almost entirely in her direction. Over the years, fans noticed it. Christine spoke up. Meri suffered quietly. And Janelle? She watched. Robyn's claim of wanting family unity began to ring hollow as her actions contradicted her words. She separated herself and her children from the rest of the family during key holidays. She pushed for private decisions between her and Kody, while the rest of the wives were left out. And the biggest red flag? Kody started rewriting history to protect Robyn and justify his growing detachment from the other wives. Kody's convenient truths. Kody Brown has long portrayed himself as a victim of impossible circumstances. He has repeatedly said the family fell apart because the wives weren't loyal, the kids were disrespectful, or plural marriage was too hard. But to Janelle, these were just convenient excuses. In private, she began to see the cracks in Kody's narrative. He told her one thing about family finances, then told something completely different to the cameras. He'd promise unity in front of the wives, then retreat to Robyn's house, refusing to engage with anyone else. Over time, his contradictions became obvious. In one infamous moment, Kody accused Janelle's children of being disloyal for questioning him. But Robyn's kids were allowed to express anything, and still remained his top priority. This, to Janelle, was the beginning of the lie. Christmas chaos and family fragmentation. One of the turning points came during the 2021 Christmas season, when Kody told the wives that unless their adult children followed his strict COVID protocols, they wouldn't be allowed to attend the holiday gatherings. Janelle was shocked. Her boys, especially Gabe and Garrison, had been isolated for months. They followed protocols but also needed to live and work. Kody's response was not empathy, it was rejection. He chose to spend the holidays exclusively with Robyn and her children. To Janelle, that wasn't about health. It was about preference. And it shattered the illusion that Kody was still the patriarch of the whole family. When Janelle challenged him, he snapped back, not with logic but anger. He told her that her kids were kicking against the family. He accused her of undermining his authority. But in reality, she was just asking for fairness. Janelle began to see clearly. Kody was lying to himself and to all of them. The lies weren't just emotional, they were financial. For years, Janelle had poured her money into the family's shared properties, including Coyote Pass, with the understanding that she would one day build a home there. But that home never came. Instead, Kody kept delaying. Meanwhile, Robyn already had a fully built house, funded by family money. When Janelle asked for equity or a share in return, Kody hedged. He made vague excuses. He told her the money had been spent differently, that decisions had changed, that she needed to keep contributing. But there was no clarity, no contract, no transparency. To Janelle, this wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was a deliberate effort to control assets, under a false promise of fairness. By 2022, Kody and Robyn had become isolated from the rest of the family. They acted as though they were still part of the plural structure, but in reality, they lived like a monogamous couple. The rest of the family was left to guess. Are we still wives? Are we still part of this? Janelle asked herself this question daily. And finally, she answered it. They're living on lies, she said. Lies about love. Lies about fairness. Lies about what the family really was. She realized that Robyn wasn't just the favorite, she was the only wife Kody was fully committed to. And all the public talk about rebuilding the family was nothing more than a smokescreen. By the end of 2022, Janelle had had enough. She publicly confirmed that she and Kody were separated. It was a seismic moment in the sister-wives saga. For years, fans had wondered if she would ever take that step. But now, she had clarity. She wasn't angry. She wasn't bitter. She was resolved. She told interviewers that Kody no longer had the emotional capacity to be a husband to multiple women. She said Robyn wasn't a villain, but that she benefited from a system built on selective truth. And most importantly, she said, Kody and Robyn are living on lies, and I'm not part of that anymore. Fan reactions and media storm. The internet exploded with support for Janelle. Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok were flooded with comments praising her courage and composure. She should have left years ago. Robyn played the long game. Janelle was the backbone of the family. Fans pointed out that Kody's credibility had crumbled. His emotional outbursts, his refusal to take accountability, and his clear favoritism had become impossible to defend. Some even accused Robyn of manipulating not just Kody, but the entire family dynamic, using emotional fragility as a weapon of control. Whether or not that's true, one thing became clear. The family unity was over, and it had been alive for a long time. Today, Janelle is focused on healing. She's invested in her wellness brand, spending time with her children and reimagining her future. She no longer speaks in vague, hopeful tones about the family. Instead, she talks about freedom, truth, and independence. She's even rekindled her friendship with Christine, another woman who chose honesty over fantasy. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn remain together, but isolated. Public perception has shifted. Their version of events no longer holds weight. The lie may still be intact in their home, but the world sees through it. Janelle Brown's quiet courage is a reminder that truth often emerges from the most silent places. For years, she endured. She gave. She hoped. But when she finally spoke, she didn't scream. She simply told the truth. Kody and Robyn are living on lies. Not in rage, not in revenge, but in liberation. And that truth, perhaps more than any other revelation, may be the final nail in the coffin of the sister-wives experiment. Because love without honesty isn't love at all, it's control dressed in commitment. From loyalty to loss, from silence to strength, Janelle's story is not one of failure, but of freedom. She may not have walked away with the land, the house, or the title, but she walked away with the truth. And sometimes, that's the most valuable thing of all.